I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. It was when I was mindlessly scrolling Instagram when I stumbled upon an artist asking their audience for reasons that keep them from creating art. Some of these answers I read stood out to me and made me think. One of them was, I'm afraid that my art is not what people want to see. This made me quite sad because the joy of creating art shouldn't be stifled by the thought of what others might think. Other similar responses were, everyone should say wow, otherwise my art is bad, or if I already took time to make art, it has to be perfect, or if I can't make a masterpiece, then I won't make art at all. But who decides if something is a masterpiece? Yeah, I get that a quick sketch or a silly little drawing might not be considered a masterpiece. Or will it? Art is so subjective and everyone's taste is so different. You will never be able to please everyone. And that's okay. Just think about who decided that a banana taped to a wall is a masterpiece. And ask yourself if you agree with them. But that's the great thing about art. There's no right or wrong. It mainly comes down to what you like. So you really shouldn't worry about other people's opinions too much, especially when it keeps you from creating. Remember that you don't have to show your art to anyone. But if you never start because you're too scared, you'll never know if your next piece will turn out to be a masterpiece. And I do get the statement, if I already took time to make art, it has to be nice and perfect. Because why would you want to waste any precious time on creating something bad? Something you end up hating and just throwing in a bin? I really get that. But that is just part of being an artist. You have to make, in quote, bad art in order to improve and create good art. I've been afraid to start a painting because my expectations for it are higher than my skill level. But I've learned, and I'm still learning, that art is not about the end result. Yeah, of course, if you paint for commission, that's another story. But right now I'm just talking about creating art for oneself and about the journey to becoming the artist you want to be. If the thought of the end result frightens you that much, and if you're scared to start just because of other people's opinions, you should try and look at it from a different perspective. So let's shift our focus from the end result to what comes before, the process. For me, it's the process I enjoy most, although it can be really frustrating at times. But it's where minutes turn into hours without me even realizing. It's where I lose track of reality, if we're being a bit dramatic. But if I would only create masterpieces, but hated drawing or painting, I would have given up art a long time ago. If you're just fixed on the outcome of your drawing or painting, you have to learn to create art for the pleasure of it. Because it's what you love to do, because it makes you happy, because it's an outlet for your feelings. Embrace the mistakes along the way and turn them into happy little accidents. You will learn so much from them. Take a minute and think about why you want to draw or paint. Most of the time it's because you have a story or an idea in mind you want to bring down on paper, or you want to express your feelings. Or maybe it's simply because you love the act of putting pencil or paint onto paper and creating something that hasn't been there before. If your drawing turns out great, then it's an added bonus. But if you don't enjoy the process of creating, it's probably not the right thing for you. Of course, frustration when drawing can creep in, and that's just frustrating, but I would say that every artist feels this frustration from time to time. I feel it every time I paint. Just accept it, accept that it's there, and try again the next day. Just don't give up. But what if you want to share your art online but are afraid to do so? I want to say, just don't be afraid. Usually the viewer, may it be someone online, a friend or a potential buyer, they will only see the end result and form their opinion on that. And you have to keep in mind that it's their personal opinion. It's a reflection of what they know and don't know, of what they like and don't like. Most of these people probably don't do any type of art, and if they just say your piece is bad without giving proper reasons or critique, I think you can easily ignore them and don't take it to heart. Of course, be open to proper criticism that is meant to help you, because that is very valuable. And it's still your choice if you want to use this help or not. The art community online, at least on Instagram, in my experience, is very welcoming and supportive to new artists. And should you get a mean comment, you can just delete it. They probably can't do it any better. You know, I've made tons of artwork that I ended up not liking at all. But for a few of these people actually told me that they did like them. And I've also made art I loved, which others ended up not liking so much. So again, it just depends on who you ask. I think in the end it comes down to you and what's more important to you, that others like your art or that you like your art. Of course, a combination of both would be best. But I think if you love your work and love creating it, someone else will fall in love with it as well. So don't be scared of creating art no one wants to see. Create art you want to see. Create art for you and because you love it. And if you don't have the skills yet to make the art you want to make, then you have to keep practicing. Practice and don't worry. Remember that it's never too late to start. Being an artist is a journey. Your art will always change. Your taste might change as well. Your admirers will change accordingly. Keep in mind that likes on social media don't determine the worth of your artwork. Only you can do that. Yeah, I don't know. These are just my random thoughts on this topic. And now I would love to hear your thoughts and what helped you overcome the fear of other people's opinions. If that is not something you struggle with, what is keeping you from creating art, if anything at all? Please let me know, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.